Picture this: a colossal $6.4 billion engineering triumph. The Gordie Howe International Bridge teeters on the edge of destiny, linking two powerhouse nations in a high-stakes drama of borders, betrayal, and bold defiance. Just 2 weeks back, the towering cranes bowed out, heralding the end game of construction. But now, murmurs of a 6-month setback echo through the corridors of power. This isn't mere metal and mortar. It's a front line in the war for America's soul, where fentanyl floods, cartel shadows, and unchecked perils lurk. Join me as we peel back the layers of this explosive saga. Donald Trump's iron-fisted shutdown that shielded jobs, families, and futures while unmasking Canada's fragile facade. Forget the spin. This is the unfiltered epic of a lion-hearted leader roaring against the tide, crafting a fortress of security and sovereignty. By the finale, you'll grasp why Trump's strike isn't disruption. It's the rallying cry for an unbreakable, thriving America that commands respect worldwide. Let's plunge into the heart of it. The Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority reports the Gordie Howe International Bridge hurtling toward its autumn 2025 debut, with just 2% of the colossal build outstanding. Flags from Canada and the U.S. flutter triumphantly at the midpoint where decks converge, marking a stunning 98% milestone. Execs rave about the strides, yet the burning query, when will tires hit this asphalt artery, elicits only cryptic replies. Heather Grondin, the WDBA's chief relations officer, insists it's premature to lock in an exact launch for such a behemoth endeavor. Tenacious journalists like Veronica Ortega of CBS News Detroit have chased leads, phoning for on-camera insights, only to receive scripted responses. The focus? Unwavering excellence in craftsmanship and safety, with vows of transparency. But lurking under this glossy progress report is a geopolitical storm, brewed by Donald Trump's unyielding resolve, transforming a trade icon into a symbol of vigilant protection. Strip away the distractions, and the core truth shines through, the narrative mainstream outlets dodge. Donald Trump eyed the looming threat at our nation's threshold and struck with precision. As timid figures beg for time and ignore the storm, Trump thundered, "Not on my watch." He barricaded the gates, not for partisan points, but to fortify American livelihoods, safeguard households, and declare globally that the U.S. stands unbowed. This was raw, unfiltered command, a predator guarding its realm. Envisioned as the zenith of transnational commerce, the Gordie Howe Bridge gleamed as a $5 billion conduit from Detroit to Windsor. Yet Trump sliced through the fanfare, exposing the underbelly, a potential express lane for fentanyl surges, unauthorized entries, and cartel conduits threading the passage. His blockade wasn't sabotage, it was a shield for sanctity. Detractors howl of turmoil and tragedy, but the heartland sees the valor, prioritizing existence over extravagance, homeland defense over alien agendas. Local lenses capture the fissures too. Canadian media spotlight how Trudeau's prize gem wavers precariously. Postponements scream stagnation, underscoring inertia in his era. Absent Trump's bold stroke, this link might have devolved into a smuggler's paradise. Instead, it stands as a beacon of U.S. resolve against imposed vulnerabilities. Ottawa dubbed it foolhardy. Trump labeled it imperative. History's verdict? It favors the guardian, not the conciliator. The backlash pummeled Canada like an avalanche. Plants in Ontario and Windsor shuddered to silence. Logistics shattered, and fleets that once surged frontiers now languish. Trudeau, staking his realm's fortune on fluid American bonds, stumbles with alibis. His migration wagers implode spectacularly, stranding laborers shiftless, shipments stagnant, and kin reliant on transborder earnings in turmoil. Trump didn't engineer this unraveling. Trudeau did, by yoking his land too snugly to U.S. orbit's sans self-reliance. The axiom rings true: autonomy precedes alliances. But alas, Trudeau amplified the bind, ensnaring Canada deeper. Today, that exalted bridge haunts as a $5 billion folly, idle, inflated, a relic of rash bets. With one masterstroke, Trump unveiled Ottawa's overdependence, mandating a brutal awakening. Enduring wealth can't sprout from least benevolence. It withers when favors fade. Sovereigns must root firmly or crash when pillars pull away. Canada embraced reliance. Trump exalted independence. This schism illuminates the gulf between fragility and fortitude. Trump's audacious pivot, anchored in homeland defense, unequivocally. Decades of alerts from enforcers painted the Detroit-Windsor vein not as mere commerce, but a vortex for fentanyl, trafficking rings, and syndicate streams. These lethal toxins don't conjure in Midwest hubs. They seep via permeable edges, capitalizing on Canada's loose vigilance and smuggler leniency. Trump deciphered the omens and proclaimed, "Halt." He recast the fray beyond finances as vital endurance. Fortify frontiers, escalate clout, and shatter myths of benign openness. S&P analyses flag build hurdles at dual ports, risking months-long shifts. Probes to Canada Border Services Agency disclosed phased transfers from early 2025, gear setups progressing, personnel settling in. They pledge readiness for D-Day. U.S. Customs and Border Protection redirected to WDBA amid secrecy, detailing fit-outs like counters and illumination in 13 American edifices and 11 Canadian counterparts. Integrity and protection reign supreme, they affirm. As Trudeau seethes on commerce chaos, Trump's vision zeroes in on essentials. Bereaved clans interring overdose victims, adolescents mired in syndicate-scarred zones, and toilers eyeing community rot. Evoke those poignant encounters, Trump embracing angel moms, bereft military spouses, crime-ravaged households. Not fleeting optics, he poured empathy, forged lasting ties. Past the blunt facade that irks some, I've winced at quips myself, beats a compassionate core. This isn't staged, it's heartfelt duty. Border clamps aren't electoral ploys. They're moral imperatives rooted in adoration for America. Cynics lament fiscal hits, but confront a parent shattered by an offspring's opioid demise. Revenues versus respiration? Trump chose the sole path of honor. The vintage U.S.-Canada weave of fused markets and ironclad pacts? Obliterated. Trudeau's oath booms. Should Trump assail once more, we'll counter ferociously, sculpting a self-reliant Canada, mightier yet. Still, his retort smacks of frenzy. Livid summits, D.C. accusations, proclamations of economic sabotage. Candidly, Trudeau possessed epics to steal his domain and frittered them. He dismissed frontier felony flares, rendering his people adrift when judgment struck. His ex-missives trumpet fortifying Canada, lauding intergovernmental leaps to a cohesive economy, epic ventures nationally, and planetary trade blooms. Yet unmask the facade. Padlocked mills, evaporated rolls. Frantic defenses sketch not advancement, but abyss. This isn't stewardship. It's veneer over voids, anguish cloaked as audacity. Canadians discern the ruse. They behold their leader evading, not evolving fixes. Trump, inversely, shields his flock with iron will, fueled by fervent patriotism. Envision a Trudeau twin, zealous for Canada. What jubilation! Trudeau salvages stature, Trump salvages souls. That polarity, might versus meekness, gleams vividly. Trump's ploy didn't solely illuminate Ottawa's soft spots. It magnified U.S. homefront resilience. While Windsor, Ontario ops stall, Michigan, Ohio hums vibrantly, a commander elevating them paramount. Enduring laments from U.S. labor, roles pilfered abroad, chains overlinked externally, dissolved via Trump's decree. No further yields costing us. Instantly, the tale flips. Trump as autonomy's vanguard, Trudeau as a mendicant forging favors. The wider wave? America radiates assurance, its composure clashing Ottawa's mayhem. Orations dim beside this stark vista, Trump's realm soaring, Trudeau's fracturing. Dub it commerce clash or cataclysm, its enlightenment. Canada, Like a habitué hooked on U.S. flows, endures detox throws. Trump deploys tough tactics, coercing self-examination from the needy. Canadian counters, duties, red tape, fiery diatribes? They dwarf America's grip as planetary consumption titan, Ottawa's artery. Trudeau's riposte merely spotlight zeal to grasp indispensable exchange. Trump remains steadfast, assured the U.S. outendures. Per Canadian Dispatch, a U.S. wage endures. Per protest aloft, a stateside clan finds comfort in a chief mending ages of skewed accords. Turmoil? Nay, it's virtuoso maneuvering. Fundamentally, this eclipses duties, its autonomy's odyssey. Trump asserts America shuns rogue playgrounds or faint hearts. Trudeau falters, Trump soars, braving backlash for salvation. Annals will inscribe the rift, one of stasis, even in slanted tomes, against another's of potent rule, grating yet grand. Trump radiates dominance, Trudeau debility. America surges, pioneering unapologetically. And that's our curtain from Zone Media Network. I'm Griffin, navigating these seismic shifts. Dash to American Zone for prime U.S. dispatches, spotting me often. Smash like, subscribe,